Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar regarding roaming and regarding the roaming solution provided by our roaming platform, Gireve. First of all, just a quick word in terms of our background. We've been established in 2013 by major shareholders that you could see on this slide. I'm sure that you know them really well. And then in 2017, Demeter becomes our latest shareholder at that moment. We've been operating in the market for more than 7 years, during which time we have managed to build out a pan-European EV charging roaming platform. It is also our ambition today to consolidate and strengthen our position in the European market by working closely with partners like yourself. The team is based in the Paris region. We have got 30 people, very multicultural and multilingual, so which reflects our international ambition. A quick introduction into 3 ways to do EV charging in the market as we see it. First of all is the EV driver has a direct subscription to the CPO network. The second one is through roaming with the eMSP. And the third one is direct payment. There are drawbacks and advantages for each solution. Let's take a deeper look into that. Using the first model, one individual driver will have to access only one CPO network. If he or she wishes to access more than one CPO network, it means that he or she is going to have to take multiple subscriptions. He would end up with multiple cards in his wallet, which is not really the ideal solution. And there is no roaming available possible with this model either. Using another model, which is the direct payment on the bottom of this page. The direct payment is super easy, as we call it, pay as you go. But there's no loyalty program, and there's a very limited scope of services as well. There's no navigation, no real-time information, etc. So in our opinion, the ideal solution is roaming through an eMSP. The individual driver, you could choose your trusted and preferred service provider. You could charge everywhere through one eMSP subscription in Europe, and you will always have a single point of contact for any issue. And there you'll have multiple access methods as well, either RFID cards or mobile phone app, which are 2 most popular access modes today. But soon there will be plug and charge available also in the market. So let's take a look at the responsibilities of each market player. On the left-hand side, you have the owner of the charge point operators, which secures financing or the site location of the charging stations. Then they delegate the management to the CPOs, and the CPOs will connect these chargers to a cloud system, which is the back office provider system. And the back office provider job is to connect these chargers via OCPI or eMIP 2 protocols to Gireve's roaming platform. And it's the same story on the right-hand side, where the EV driver has a membership with the eMSP. The eMSP delegates the management of the EV drivers to a back office provider, and via the back office provider's solution, the EV driver their access is made available via the OCPI or eMSP eMIP connection to Gireve's roaming platform. And then eventually the CPO as a contracting party will publish a roaming offer, and the eMSP will sign the roaming offer on this marketplace. Well, we while we talk about roaming offers and our marketplace, actually, let's take a deeper look into it. On this slide, you can see that Gireve provides three angles of services from business, roaming, and clearing point of view to both CPOs and the eMSPs. CPO's roles in this value chain on Gireve's marketplace is to define network access conditions and to publish roaming offers, and also to monitor and maintain the physical charging stations. The eMSP's job is to evaluate the network access conditions on Gireve's marketplace and to sign the roaming offers with the CPOs and to make sure that their EV drivers could access the CPO's charging stations. So it's very interesting for a CPO to go through a roaming platform because they could only have one IT connection with a roaming platform, and then they could do roaming with multiple eMSPs, and vice versa for the eMSP is the same story. They only need one IT connection with Gireve, but then they could sign up with multiple CPOs available on Gireve's roaming platform, and to bring a maximum number of charging points to their EV drivers as well. So to facilitate this roaming, as mentioned, we have three types of services. So let's take a look at that in more details. From the business point of view, is really all about using our marketplace Connect Place, which I'm going to show you a few snapshots so that you have a more direct overview on our marketplace. First of all, all roaming offers are on our digital marketplace. So public offers are available for everybody, but there are also confidential and private roaming offers which have been concluded between the CPOs and the eMSPs as a private arrangement. The contract is a standardized roaming agreement template and could be signed online, and actually are always signed online. No paper is necessary for the CPOs to reach an agreement with the eMSP. And you could also modify any and put in specific terms and conditions if your legal team is very strict with you and asking you to put in specific terms related to your own company. For the roaming part, we make sure that data flows from the CPO to the eMSP through Gireve's roaming platform, thanks to the protocol connection between Gireve and its partners, either OCPI or eMSP. Both are open protocols. And then the CPOs could share the static and dynamic data with the eMSP, which could subsequently retrieve them and also display them on their mobile phone app so that the EV drivers are able to locate and also know the availability of the charging stations. And then during the roaming process, we also make sure that the quality control is guaranteed on charging stations. There are automated mechanisms to ensure that as well. You could also access an overview of the connectivity of your partners and Gireve in real time if you subscribe to that service. For the clearing part, we put a lot of time and energy on the automated calculation of and verification of the charging stations prices. We have also designed a dedicated workflow for dispute between the two parties so that you could work out a disagreement between you two very easily. We also provide a CPO service, an invoicing service to the CPOs, and the invoice will soon be able to be submitted and downloaded on Gireve's Connect Place to be precise. So if you would like to connect it to Gireve's roaming platform, actually there are 3 steps. So for any of you whose IT system is not connected to us, we need to make the IT connection using OCPI or eMSP. But for those who go through one of our connected IT partners, this step is actually done. And in the meantime, we could we could negotiate our terms and conditions between us so that we get our contract done. Then when number 1 and number 2 is done, you'll be able to start roaming. We'll begin with your onboarding by our operational team. Then you'll be able to start roaming as a CPO or as a eMSP on ConnectPlace. So let's take a look at, let's put a bit of focus on our major services. First of all, this is a screenshot of our marketplace. As you can see, it is a very beautifully designed marketplace, which is very user-friendly. And on this marketplace, you could find your roaming offers and sign it with a CPO. And also, you could negotiate the roaming offers with them as well. From another major service from the roaming part is that we make sure that the CPOs is able to share their static and dynamic data with their roaming partners, their eMSP partners, and this information is also shared with some of the leading navigation system providers in the world, so that the EV drivers could find your charging stations much more easily via some of the most popular navigation tools globally. For the eMSPs, you'll be able to retrieve the static and dynamic data through Gireve, meaning the location of the chargers and the availability of the chargers, two very important pieces of information for your EV drivers to achieve a charging session in the area where he or she is located. And then we also provide the billing services. Some of the CPOs do not provide the final cost of the charging session, in which case the eMSP needs to calculate it yourself. And some of the CPO does provide it, but actually the number is not really correct. So what we provide is that our own calculation. So when the CPO doesn't provide it, you will have it calculated already. But when the CPO does provide it, you could also use it as a benchmark to verify whether the original total cost provided by the CPO is correct or not. If it's not correct, what you need to do afterwards. So that comes actually another feature, a very popular one on ConnectPlace, which is called dispute. So it's an automated workflow process for you to choose one of the subjects that you would like to challenge your CPO partner. For example, the amount of the charging session, so that after that, when you click the button, you could send an automated, you could send a message, a very quick message to the CPO, and the CPO will need to look at it and to work out where the problem is and what went wrong, so that you two parties could work it out much more easily. You could obviously use a traditional, methods like pulling all the information from ConnectPlace and download everything in an Excel spreadsheet and send it to your roaming partner, or even call them. You always have their contact details, but that is a much longer process because you need to make reference to each charging session made on ConnectPlace. You will need to leave the Gireve environment to do that. Which means that there's extra time and energy spent on something that is already available on Gireve main platform, which makes us believe that actually the dispute mechanism is a much quicker process and a much more efficient one for you to work out your dispute and disagreement with your roaming partner. So these are our major services. In conclusion, I'd like to take this opportunity to update you on our coverage. So we have connected 122,000 charging points, actually almost 123,000 charging points on our platform. In 7 countries, we have more than 70% of the market share. Even though originally we are based in, we are still based in France. We are a French company, but as you can see that we have a pan-European coverage today. And as mentioned earlier, it is our ambition to consolidate where we excel and also to catch up where we need to improve our coverage. And that's why we're putting a lot of time and energy in some of the key markets for us, like the Spanish market, for which we have hired a new colleague who is Spanish to cover this country. And we continue our efforts in the German-speaking countries and the Eastern countries as well, because these are all very relevant and key countries for us, because our ambition is to provide a seamless cross-border charging roaming platform in Europe. And on the eMSP side, as you can see, we work with most of the leading operators, eMSP operators in Europe already. So there are many nationalities on this page. There are obviously the national leaders from specific countries, and there are also new startup and very successful new eMSPs coming into the market very recently. And obviously, the car manufacturers remain a very important source of eMSPs because their interests are completely aligned with the chatbot operators. So we expect to extend this list in the coming few months further, because there are many requirements from the eMSP side as well. So if you like to use Gireve's roaming platform, just remember that you are actually assisted by a dedicated team all through the process. Even before when you get started, we provide you consulting and training services. And then after that, when you are getting connected, we provide you the workshop, and there will be a team to assist you to get familiar with everything on ConnectPlace. And our team will also import your static data and integrate them into our roaming platform, and import your whitelist so that your clients will be registered on our platform as well. And then you'll be able to start roaming. Finally, we provide you all the clearing services that you need after the charging session. And we also provide you business insights and reporting tools so that you know where you need to go after that, after the charging session from a strategic point of view. So thank you so much for joining this webinar. I hope I was clear, but in any case, you have my contact details. Please do reach out anytime if you have any questions. I look forward to catching up with you in person in the very near future.